Welcome to the Friday Fenix, the only news show in the world, except for all the other ones. Guys, this is the 40th episode of this show. So before we dive into the news for this week, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and sharing and being fans. You're the best. All right, now let's get into it. The Buffalo shooter had the nerve to plead not guilty after live streaming himself doing the crime on Twitch. Can you imagine? Officer, let's look at the facts. You saw my fist coming towards you and now your nose is bleeding, but I can assure you that I did not punch you in the face. Joe Biden gave a speech after the Buffalo shooting because of course he did. Now could we try actually preventing the next one? Just kidding, we don't do that here. In the wake of the Buffalo shooting, we've been hearing a lot about the Great Replacement theory, which for those of you who don't know, is that white people are in danger of becoming the minority in this country. Yes, the people who took away your precious light bulbs and replaced them with new ones that are better apparently won't rest until no one is lighter than a mocha frappe. As preposterous as this theory is, it's inspired the Buffalo shooter and many others to murder people simply because of their race. And here's the thing about that. It's really stupid. You arming yourself and walking into a place and killing a handful of people isn't going to end a race war. It has literally never worked. Not once. It's like the underpants gnomes from South Park. Step 1, shoot people. Step 2, and then step 3, everyone's white again. Yes, it's morally reprehensible and racist and awful, but it's also just dumb in terms of its sheer inefficacy. Here's what I propose instead. Build a world where it doesn't matter who's in the majority or the minority, everyone gets treated equally and fairly. And instead of the Great Replacement, maybe you can place yourself onto a therapist's couch to explore why you need to feel like a victim so badly. And now, let's get to some important news. People are angry about Kim Kardashian wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress to the Met Gala, and I am personally outraged at this fully unwarranted use of a historically important dress that might even be stained with JFK's personal jizz. Come on, folks, is nothing sacred anymore? We need to spend more time debating this dress. I want more think pieces, more social media posts, more manufactured outrage, and I want it all to be pointed in the direction of Kim Kardashian's ass in an old dress. I will not be satisfied until there is at least a podcast and preferably a limited series on Hulu about this very important controversy. This has been important news. Over in the world of politics, Congressman Madison Cawthorn lost the North Carolina Republican primary this week, which shocked everyone who assumed that wearing lingerie, blathering on about imaginary coke orgies, and gyrating naked on top of another man would improve his chances of winning. Justice Clarence Thomas said this week in regard to abortion protests, quote, "We didn't throw temper tantrums," apparently forgetting that abortion clinics are often bombed and that his own wife helped organize one of the biggest temper tantrums in American history. The fire department is still trying to put out the pants fire that immediately erupted after his statement. A senator has accused Biden's advisors of being, quote, "crunchy granola types who attend gender reveal parties," implying that they're weak. Dude, have you been to a gender reveal party lately? Because I haven't. They're too dangerous. If those folks are brave enough to go to one knowing that they might easily lose an eye or a testicle, then they're exactly who I want running this country. Marjorie Taylor Green is protesting media coverage of her, saying she is made to look angry and stupid. "Me no stupid," she screeched. Former president and current pre-fugitive Donald Trump announced plans to limit himself on Twitter. Yeah, that's got a high probability of success, kind of like a high school senior who promises to pull out. Let's turn now to international news. In what will surely be seen as the true legacy of Vladimir Putin, more and more European countries are seeking membership in NATO. Oh, Vladimir, never before has someone put so much time and energy into failing so spectacularly. And speaking of Russian failure, they're also apparently pretty bad with directions. Downed Russian fighter jets in Ukraine are being found with GPS receivers taped to the dashboards. Well, I can see how finding an open bar in Ukraine might be really hard these days. Google Maps says it's right here, but all I see is this giant pile of rubble. A panel of British judges has ruled that calling a man bald is sexual harassment. Appropriate alternatives include follically challenged, super smooth, and pitbull. A retired Indian couple is suing their son and daughter-in-law, demanding that they produce a grandchild within a year or pay them 50 million rupees. The father reportedly said to the son, "Young man, you will go to your room and fuck your wife's brains out, and I don't want to see either of you until one of you is pregnant." Guys, may I humbly suggest that you save yourself the legal fees and take that Alaskan cruise you've been dreaming about instead? Maybe in between looking at icebergs, you can look up appropriate boundaries. Over in Sweden, 70s superband ABBA will finally perform again using digital avatars. Opening for ABBA will be the Grateful Almost Dead and the Bay City Oldsters. That one's for all the dads out there. In business news, Spirit Airlines rejected a buyout offer from JetBlue. When contacted for comment, the JetBlue spokesperson said, "We got Spirit, yes we do! Oh wait, no we don't yet, but we really, really want it." Market analysts believe that the JetBlue offer was enough to cover the value of the shares, but didn't account for the excess corporate baggage fees, premium seats at the table, or priority board membering. The millionaire CEOs of the largest pizza delivery chains are wondering how to solve a shortage of delivery drivers. Having tried offering the legal minimum compensation, they are fresh out of ideas. The CEOs are considering a week-long summit in the Bahamas to brainstorm any and all ideas that do not involve paying a decent wage or treating employees like human people. Maybe they can raise the employee discount to 4%? Folks, this is the first time I've ever been excited about sports news because the Oklahoma Sooners recently signed a junior college quarterback named General Booty. Sounds like when the Sooners coaches hit the recruiting trail, someone made a booty call. He was recruited specifically for his ability to back it up like a dump truck. Oklahoma announced the signing with the headline, "Baby got quarterback." No word yet on who will sign football prospect Major Johnson. Oh God, that felt good. In ancient lore news, according to the Aztecs, the world has ended 4 different times already. So, if something comes back 4 times, can we really say it ever ended? This joke brought to you by Law & Order Jaywalking Unit. Cancel 1 Law & Order franchise and 3 more will take its place. And finally tonight, Pizza Hut in Taiwan has invented a pizza that contains popcorn chicken, Oreos, and calamari. Reached for comment, pregnant women said, "Hey honey, can you go get me something real quick?" That wraps up this week's episode of the Friday Fenix. Join us next week because there's always more news to peruse.
Your efforts are valid, but I don't